What's going on, you guys? My name's Ty Knotts, and welcome to Top 5 Unknowns, 5 school horror stories from Reddit. Number 5. I play tennis, and yesterday was the all-island high school girls tennis match. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm one of the best high school girl tennis players where I live. This is the biggest and final match of the season and of my high school career. The match was held at a public tennis court at a hotel, so anyone could come and watch. And just like any other match, there were many sports news reporters and other students there. There's only one sports news reporter on the island where I live, and they usually have many photographers at the match. Fast forward to the match being over, and I'm the undefeated all-island high school girls champion of 2019. After the match, a man in a skirt with the logo of the sports news site approached me for an interview. I saw him take photos of all the girl players and also the girls in the audience during the match. This wasn't anything unusual, but he took photos of the groups of high school girls there watching the game, not of any boys or any families. I didn't think twice about this until after I talked to him. All of the interviewers and photographers that represent the company have the stats of every player to bring up in their interviews, but the man who interviewed me got all the ones he mentioned to me incorrect. He took a video of the interview on his phone and the DSLR that he had with him. At the end of the interview, he asked me for my contact information, including a personal cell phone number, and said to expect a call as they were doing another article on just me and not one that includes the match. This morning I woke up for school and went to the sports company's website expecting to see the article about the championship match in my interview, but it wasn't there. This is uncommon as whenever they do articles, they always post them in the mornings or before noon. The article still wasn't there in the afternoon, so my coach called the company and asked about it, and they said that it didn't exist. The man who interviewed me and took videos and pictures of me and the other girls was not an employee of that company, and no one worked there with that name or description. They couldn't even explain how he got his hands on a shirt. Number 4. This happened when I was 12 years old. I was babysitting for a family of 2 little girls, and I babysat them fairly frequently as they lived around the corner. The father was weird and intense. He would ask me to do weird things like be a bartender at a party they were throwing, or encourage me to try on his wife's clothing to play dress up. He would also ask me personal questions about my supposed boyfriends and what I did with him. His wife was never around for any of these interactions. One night I was babysitting, and after putting the girls to bed, I started hearing weird sounds coming from upstairs. I was about to call my dad to come investigate for me when the father came down the stairs wearing nothing but his tighty-whities. He'd been there the whole time waiting for his girls to go to bed. I jumped up and ran for the door, and he called after me that he hadn't been feeling good so he stayed home and that he would still pay me. I just left and booked it home. I was weirdly embarrassed, so I told my parents and just decided to never babysit for them again. After that, my mom started getting weird phone calls while I was at school. Someone just breathing into the phone or asking if I was home. This is before cell phones and caller ID. That culminated with her getting another phone while I was at school where a man told my mother that he was going to get and gave details of exactly what he planned on doing to me. My mom never told me exactly what he said, but it was bad enough that she called the police. The police were able to track the number to the creepy father. I didn't know what was happening until the cops showed up to my school to escort me home because the creepy father wasn't home. He was outside my school waiting for me. Number 3. I was in 5th grade at the time and went to school in an area that was decent enough compared to the rest of the crap that is my hometown. Some relevant information to the story is that I'm mixed, half Thai and half white. When I was younger, I was often told by older Thai members of the community that it was very pretty, in a familial way, not a creepy way at all. Being pale and having lighter brown hair is a desirable trait in the Thai community, at least to the older folk. One day, I get out of school as usual and made my way to my parents' restaurant. As I'm walking along, a car pulls up to me and starts to trail slowly behind me. It was a normal car from what I remember, and it was in the style of a dark sedan, and a Thai woman probably in her 30s was driving it. She told me something along the lines of, "Hey, your mom told me to pick you up because she's gonna be late. Get in the car." She also told me how pretty I was and that my mom was lucky to have a daughter like me. Something you should know is that the Thai community in the city where I live is pretty small, so it could very well have been that this woman knew my mom. However, my parents always taught me to be vigilant. I was ingrained with stranger danger and was told never to go with anyone even if they were someone I knew or friends of my parents. My mom really drilled that stuff into my head because of the things she'd seen growing up in Thailand and many of her own let's not meet stories. So immediately I was on guard. I told her I'm sorry but I can't and kept walking. She just kept following me and telling me she's not a stranger and that she knows my mom. I just kept walking even though I felt bad about being rude. She started getting angry with me and shouted that I should just get in or I would be in trouble. So I started running until I got to the restaurant and burst inside. I scared the owner in the process, who yelled at me and called me a crazy girl for rushing in so suddenly. I caught a glimpse of the woman speeding off through the window. I then told my mom about it later when she came to pick me up, and she freaked out. She said she definitely didn't tell anyone to pick me up, and we tried to find out who it was but never did. I got a cell phone after that. Number 2. When I was a freshman in high school, I used to walk to and from my house instead of taking the bus because I liked the outdoors. It was 3 miles one way over a mountain. I would occasionally get offered rides by strangers, mostly youngish men in their mid-20s, and they would go away when I declined. This made me feel safe walking to and from school. But I should quickly mention that this is on a main road, but there are hardly any houses and it's wooded on both sides all the way to town where my school was. One day, it was a bright warm afternoon, and on my walk home up the mountain, I was halfway up when my mom's friend pulled over in front of me and told me to get in. At first, I questioned her because I didn't understand why I was so close to home. She told me to turn around. There was a middle-aged man following behind me up the mountain with something in his hand. It could have been a walking stick or something. She was worried because she was driving by and saw him following me when I passed his house. We were still chatting when she screamed, "Get in now." I jumped in and turned around. While she was gunning it up and over the mountain, I saw the man had apparently started sprinting up to me while we were chatting. She got me home and explained everything to my mom, who just brushed it off and told me not to walk anymore. Number 1. There's a girl that's been stalking and harassing me since October of 2018. We were in the same class at high school, but that was 6 years ago. She was super shy, never spoke in class, and barely had any friends. I can't remember speaking to her more than once or twice all throughout high school. To me, she didn't even exist. But then, all of a sudden, many months ago, I woke up to a message in my Facebook inbox that was demeaning towards white people. She's Asian, and from what country I don't know. I thought this is really strange, so I tried to reply back with what's going on, but she immediately blocked my messages. I decided just to ignore it and go on with my life. About a month had passed, and I woke up to yet another message in my inbox. She'd sent me a screenshot of an Instagram account in my name. No post or followers, just an empty account with my name. I kind of freaked out a little bit and tried to reply, but yet again she blocked my messages. I tried to find the account on Instagram, but couldn't. My name is very uncommon, so the possibilities that this was another guy's account was very slim, and it certainly wasn't my account. I was very confused and kind of scared that she created an account with my name and would post things pretending to be me. I contacted one of our high school friends and asked if she could deliver the message for me since I had no way of reaching her. To my surprise, they weren't friends anymore and they hadn't spoken in months. I told my closest friends about what's going on. They told me that they'd received some strange messages as well, and I was seriously confused at this point. This one girl who nobody talked to or had any kind of relationship with was sending pictures of Instagram accounts, weird memes, and 3-word sentences that made zero sense to me or any of my friends. I tried to think of why she would do this, but couldn't come up with anything that we'd done. I remember giving her a piece of gum one day, but that's about as close as any communication happened between us. I decided I would just try to ignore her and hope that she wouldn't send me any more messages. But then around Christmas time, I woke up to my Facebook exploding with notifications and messages. I think I had around a good 100 notifications. She'd been sharing all of my profile pictures and posts. I'm seriously freaking out at this point and opened my messenger. I received 50 to 60 messages that all read "kill yourself." I tried to message her again, but surprise, surprise, she'd blocked my messages. I was becoming really angry at this point. I clicked on her Facebook profile to block her and get rid of her for good. But before I could block her, I scrolled down her wall and she'd be sharing literally hundreds of posts and pictures of me, my friends, and some other people who I had no idea who they were. I did some detective work and found her sister's Facebook profile and decided to send her a message. I took screenshots of everything that she'd done and sent it to her, asking why she was doing this. She freaked out when she saw what the crazy stalker sister had done. The stalker had deleted her sister on Facebook because of an argument they'd had around October when all of this started, so she hadn't seen anything that she'd been doing. She promised me she would talk to her crazy stalker sister and make her stop. I received a message from the sister a few hours later that she talked to her and promised that she would stop and that she apologized. I was so happy that this would finally be over and thanked her. But another few months passed by and we're now in February of 2019. I hadn't received any messages since I talked to the sister and had honestly forgotten about everything that had happened. But 2 days ago, I was playing some games with my friends on my PC and talking on Discord. My phone was on the table and I saw it light up. I'd received a notification. I didn't bother to check it until the game was over with. A few seconds after I get another one and then another one. I could see my phone in the corner of my eye, notifications swarming in. Then I remembered the crazy stalker girl and got a really awful feeling in my stomach, praying that this wasn't her again. I stopped playing, picked up my phone, and notifications were still swarming in. The stalker was sharing my pictures and posts yet again, and all had the caption of something like "kill yourself" or "I hope you die." I instantly blocked her. A few minutes later, it happened again. Someone with another username was sharing my pictures. I blocked that account instantly, and she created at least 10 other ones, and I was desperately blocking all of them as fast as I could. I sent her sister another message and told her that I was going to report this to the police if she didn't stop. She told me that she would talk to her. Angry, confused, and kinda scared, I went back to the gaming session talking to my friends about it, and went to sleep a few hours later. I woke up the next day. It was hard to sleep after thinking about all that was happening. My cousin had received some messages from the crazy stalker as well. She told him that I owed her money. I kept my calm and told him about everything and that she should just go with it. I wanted to see where this was going. She thought my cousin was my father. He's a lot older than me, so I could see why she would think that. They had a long conversation where she claimed that I'd both stolen and hacked her phone and lent money from her, and that I was the reason she lost her scholarship and had to move. She later said that I owed her 10 grand, which later became 50 grand, and then again she raised it once more to 100 grand later in the conversation. All of this, of course, is some sort of crazy lie. I'm so confused of why she'd be doing this to me. I have no idea what I've done to her, but I'm going to the police to report it tomorrow. I'm really scared of what she might accuse me of next, or that she'll show up to my house someday. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to click that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to keep updated with our videos.